This is another weird thing that I was thinking about.
The director unsuccessfully argued in court that the excrement was actually chocolate ice cream.
Oh yeah, you know way too much about me.
If they had cat videos, they'd probably have more horns.
Somebody listening right now is offended and turned off Scrambled Egg.
That's the hill I will die on.
I respect it.
That escalated quickly, though.
By the way, it's called Scrambled YEGs.
Talking to the mics, and wherever it starts to be interesting, we'll start it from there.
Oh, so never?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
Worried about that. On you too.
it's going to be a 5-minute episode. So nice and
so we may as
short.
well
Trying a
call
new
now.
format.
We're trying a new format.
Trying a new format where we invite guests over and then edit out all of their parts.
Well, we also have short attention spans. Yeah.
That's true.
It's just me and Jim plugging our shows at the end.
We're like the audience. We're just here to laugh at you guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's probably
fine.
all it's going to be.
No, I want to know about you guys. I get to interview you guys this time. So there.
Yeah. What don't you know?
Alex has been on the
I know.
podcast a few times.
Yeah.
Twice,
Yeah.
actually. A couple
Yeah.
times, I guess.
Twice.
Yeah, when did you start being a psychic? How did that happen? Tell me.
Oh, no, I changed it. Did you see?
No.
I'm not a psychic anymore. I'm a zoo.
Oh, you're a zoo.
On her Instagram.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you know,
on
like
her Instagram.
if you have like a creator Instagram, you put like what your job is. Mine said
Yeah.
astrologist and psychic. I'm like, it's a joke. Like I'm not either one. But yeah, now I'm a zoo.
Nice.
Now you're a zoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a whole.
She is a zoo.
I am
As a unit?
Whole zoo.
A zoo.
I am one zoo.
Yep. I mean, our
Alright.
house is basically a zoo.
Yeah, our house is a zoo.
There are some pumpers and kitties there.
Yeah.
But you are into are you both into like tarot cards and stuff, or is that just your thing?
Oh no, we
No,
both
we
are.
both are.
So you do the readings too.
There's
How did that
several
start, and when
decks.
did that start, and why did that start?
Why did that
Interesting.
start?
I don't know.
Did you start independently, or did you guys like get into it as children, like as friends? Were you guys friends as kids?
Yep. Yeah, we've known each other since we were like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been like interested in it, but I never bought a deck, and I've never been to a psychic. Like I've never been to a real one.
I have.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I
didn't
have.
know that.
Yeah.
And what did she say?
Oh my god, it was so long ago. I don't remember.
Tell
I did
us.
write it down.
Did any of
but
it come true?
Shit.
I can't remember.
Of course not.
So bad.
You will
In a
continue to
way.
live.
Yes, it did.
In its own way.
Okay, I did go with my cousin, and he got it done. And I recall they said something about him like finding a partner, and that it was not going to be a girl.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Oh.
And he was like,
Outed by
"No
a psychic."
fucking way!"
Was he wearing a shirt that looked like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and
So, like, outed by a psychic.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say it's probably pretty
That's weird.
accurate.
That's so funny.
I don't know. That was like probably 10 years ago, like in my early 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, we're old, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, well, I didn't say that. She just likes to tell everyone we're old.
I'm turning 30 in like a week and a half.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
But yeah,
That's a problem.
I don't.
Are all your friends having like babies and shit now?
A few.
Yeah,
Not a ton.
a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of friends, so.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Well, and
makes
like I
sense.
was the first one out of all my friends to get married. So
All right, I forgot that you did that.
yeah, so yeah, there you go. I don't know why I brought that up. So back to astrology.
Oh,
And now you're divorced.
But yeah, I don't know. I was always interested in like tarot cards and stuff like that. I read a Nancy Drew novel when I was a kid that was about a psychic,
nice.
and it stuck with me.
Yeah, I think I got into it because of her. Honestly,
fault.
yeah.
That's
I'm
so
just a little
funny.
witchy.
Yeah.
How what percentage do you actually think it's real?
Okay, well, first of all, I don't like. I'm not very like skilled in like reading them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So,
should know that.
My own readings, I'm like, I don't know how much I can put into this. But like, I think this is going to sound so hippy dippy, but I think like the universe is made up of energies, and like, you can't argue that. Like, that's
Yes.
science. So like, some people think
Try
that
to argue it, Alex.
people that are
I
more.
wasn't going to.
Try, motherfucker.
I also
I
dare
wish a
you.
motherfucker would try to argue that the universe isn't made up of energy.
get at me, bro.
And like,
Protons, neutrons, negatives, positives, baby.
There you go.
What's
So-
up?
Science.
Alex is a
Take a
convert.
class, biatch.
What you know about valence electrons?
Nothing.
Yeah, 0.
I did not take physics 30.
They're shared in covalent bonding.
Oh, you fucking nerd.
I'm gonna bring you with me when people ask me about this. But yeah, I don't know. So I think that like people are very empathetic, certain people, and they can like, there's energy exchanges between people. And I think that like if you just have something that you're channeling that energy through, whether it's cards or whatever it is,
Yeah.
I kind of buy into it. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I'm not like summoning the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot
Often.
of people think it's what it is.
Well, yeah, people are
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
My mom's a Baptist, and I was like, Mom, are you okay with this?
She's like, not in my house. That's the devil's work. Get out of here, child. Every time you light a candle, she's like, are you summoning something? I get scented.
Just walking around with a fire extinguisher. Not today.
I want to get a tattoo of a star, like just to see, like a pentagon.
He's got horns. You're like, that seems.
So you're not a devil summoner.
No.
Okay.
I think I kind of get. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think any of it's real, but I do
you
understand.
spiritual?
No.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I do understand what you mean, because like, have you ever? This is the weirdest example I can probably give.
Nice.
But have you ever won a prize or something and like you like kind of knew before? You're like, I'm gonna fucking for sure win this.
I've never won anything in my life.
Really? I remember there's like a couple just like stupid things. I guess it wasn't really that. When I was a kid, a lot of times I would get picked to like, and it was probably just because I was a stupid like loud kid, but to do like the performances whenever we do like whenever there was like a magician and he's like, I need a volunteer, I would always get picked as a kid. And like every time I got picked, I was always like, oh, he's gonna pick me for sure. And then we'd make eye contact and be like, you son, come up here.
You know, when you go to like hypnosis,
Yeah.
they usually pick the people that they can tell are like weak-minded so that they do it.
Yeah. Let's go.
They're like, that person's gonna fight it too much. Oh yeah, he looks, yeah.
Yeah, I got hypnotized in grade 12.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know the guy now. It's super. Well, I kind of know the guy now. He's a buddy of Norm Shaw's.
Okay.
What? Yeah. What's his name?
His name's Colin Christopher.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that because he hypnotized us to remember it at the end of the show. At the end of the show, he said for the next hour, anytime says the name Colin Christopher, you will say, I slept with that guy, because he fucking puts you to sleep. And then for like an hour afterwards, we were like, Colin Christopher. And I was just like, I slept with that dude. And then... and then he's like, and you'll never forget my name, blah, blah, blah. And then later, like literally, like
I slept with that dude.
6 years. Hey, can we get that soundbite, please? And then, like 6 years later, he like came to a show or some shit, and he's like buddies with Norm Shaw. And he's like, this is my buddy Colin Christopher. And I was like, you hypnotized me to say I slept with that guy at the end of a show, Louis Saint Laurent in 2010. He's like, yeah, I remember that show. That was fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
There you go.
yeah,
This sure
small
makes
world.
sense.
But
So when you got hypnotized, like it worked?
sort of. I don't know. It was really weird. I'm actually kind of happy that I got hypnotized, because it's kind of come up a lot later in life. I find. Like, do you guys fucking what's it called? Meditate ever?
Yeah.
You meditate? No, you do. Have you like gone like a deep meditation where you're like kind of like mind floaty and like you forget about your body and shit?
Yeah, and then I fall asleep.
Yes. Yeah, it's like this weird in between sleep and awake, and then eventually you
Yeah.
just fall asleep.
Yeah.
So that's like what being hypnotized is. But then when you're in the middle of that, he's just like, okay, now just say this. And then he snaps his fingers, and then he looks at you. He's like, and then you're like, okay, sure. And then you say it, and then he's like, all right, go back to sleep. And then you just go back to like meditating.
Yeah, don't you like wake up from that feeling like you've just had the longest sleep of your life?
Yeah, you feel really good afterwards.
Really?
Yeah.
But same with meditation. You feel
Yeah.
great after. I meditate in the sauna after every workout. I go, there's a sauna in my gym, and I meditate for like 10 minutes. And you come out of it feeling great. And like your body feels weird. Your like breath is like really stable. And like you know how sometimes like your spine feels like you're all crooked?
Yeah.
It's like you come out of it just feeling like you're straight.
Yeah.
It's
'cause you're
weird.
holding like so much tension in your body, and it just kind of
Yeah.
lets go.
How did you start meditating?
Well, because of the fucking
Oh.
the hypnosis thing.
Okay.
And then because
Wow.
Because of the fucking hypnosis thing.
yeah, bro. I get so aggressive. I don't know.
Charged up about meditating.
I love
It's a
it.
weird.
I love this.
Yeah. So, because of the meditation thing, and then, or the hypnosis thing, and then I kind of got into like self hypnosis because like, oh, that was kind of cool, and then I would use that to go to sleep, and like, you know what ASMR is? Yeah. So like ASMR is sweet, and like
Okay.
Sweet.
Just like mukbang, not ASMR.
Mukbangs are so weird.
So weird.
So weird.
Weird. What are those? Most of the time, I'm like,
They're
what
just
even
crying.
is that?
Do you watch the crying ones?
I actually
She hates the sound of people eating.
Oh,
yeah.
I always tease her about mukbang.
Oh, that's so funny.
never actually watched
So
it.
gross.
The word is just so fucking hilarious.
It's so funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Sorry,
Okay.
took that right off track.
What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, meditation and shit. What was I talking? Oh, yeah, self-hypnosis. And using that to go to sleep. I don't
You're
know.
lost.
And then, so yeah, I just ended up like meditating from like doing that and realizing it was weird because I like kind of realized it was the same thing because self-hypnosis, all you would do is like you focus on your breathing and then like it usually like walks you down like a path in like wilderness and you're like, okay, think about the trees. And then like, oh, there's a fountain and lay down in the fountain. Now you're floating in the water. And then as you're floating in the water, like feel all the tension leaving your body. And then like the meditation is the same shit. You just try and basically let all your muscles loose like you're floating in water. Like you're just trying to feel like you're not holding yourself up or balancing or whatever. You just kind of like are sinking into the chair. And I was like, oh, this is the same shit. And it just feels cool afterwards.
Yeah.
Did you teach yourself how to do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, just like YouTube, I guess there's like, you can just get guided meditations on YouTube.
Yeah, I think I need to do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've never actually tried it. And I'm like, how do you even start
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't like learn it by just like sitting there and be like, okay, meditate. Yeah. That's the other weird thing. That makes way more sense. The oming thing, once you really get into it, your body, like it does this weird, your chest like relaxes. And then when you just do like a deep breath, your vocal cords are just loose. So they just go like, like it's super weird, but it sounds like you're being like,
Never going to yoga with you.
it's fucking weird.
Is he okay? I'm like, he's saying
But yeah, it's like this weird like om thing, and I'm like, oh, I get how that like centers your breath or whatever the fuck they call it. But it's
I love how you're
most Western
sprinkling macho
explanation.
on all this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, meditation is really good or some shit. Man, I just love how when you're going through the
just how I
when you're
talk.
going through the trees and you're floating in the pond, and as the flower petals cross your face or some bullshit like that.
yeah, dude. But it is like it's
No, I
just
just love it.
but it is some bullshit like that because it's also like I use like snowboarding a lot in my head because I find snowboarding really relaxing because you kind of like ride, the edges are very like flowy. And so in my head, I'll do like snowboard runs and it's like, yeah. And then like, okay, snowboard runs and then whatever the fucking swirls of the snow that you see. So it's literally, it's just like, or some shit, like just whatever shit you can think of that is like kind of nice.
I like this. Yeah. I think you get a lot of people on board by saying it like that.
I think you
It's
would.
cool.
Yeah. I
I
was
like
in yoga
it.
last night and I was laying on the floor and I was like, I'm so comfortable. This is so bizarre. I'm laying on the yoga floor and I was like, I'm fucking so comfy. And then I was like meditating and then I kind of like was half asleep and I woke up right as she like got up to tell us to wake up and I was like, yo, I am fucking psychic.
Nailed it. I'm also a zoo. Totally.
I'm a one-woman zoo.
One woman
I'm
zoo.
a one-woman zoo.
I love that.
Like it's not just multiple personalities, it's like species.
I'm a whole different thing.
Sounds like a feminist rally cry. Like I'm a
I'm
one-woman zoo.
On a big cardboard sign.
I don't know what it means, but it fucking sounds powerful.
We're close to the ledge. We can do that later.
You're just standing like on the frozen ledge water, like I'm a one-woman zoo. Everyone's like, what is she mad about?
It would probably turn
What
into
is
like
that?
a rally against the zoo. People would be like, "Free Lucy!" I'm like, no, this is not what this is about.
My whole like I started out as a journalist back when the Lucy story was
Yeah.
always part of the news.
When
and
Bob Barker talked about
yeah,
it.
and it's never every time it comes up now I'm like, fuck that elephant. Because it's just no, just all the attention. Like it's a sick old elephant. Like just leave it alone,
Dude,
As a one-woman zoo, I oppose this message.
everyone was freaking about
People are so
Lucy
mad.
and like, oh, she's gonna die. She's so sick. It's so horrible. I'm like, there's been a decade. She's still kicking. Like you were obviously wrong.
She's lonely.
Yeah, but she has the zookeepers and they take her for walks and you can go pet her.
But like she's
pet her.
too sick
Yeah.
to go anywhere. It's too sick for them to move her anywhere.
Yeah, she'll die
So
for sure.
So what do they want her to?
Well, I think the only answer would be to get another elephant, but then Lucy would die, and then that elephant would be alone, and then they'd have to get another elephant. And I'm like,
It's like, yeah, it's just a bad cycle.
It's good.
Yeah, it's
good
like
for
when
the
you're-
elephant industry.
When your parents get a second dog.
Be a good time to buy stocks in elephants.
Oh my god.
Just
I don't know if you're
Finally
supposed to
found a
really
way
do
around
that
the poacher
anymore.
thing. At least they'll stop killing them for their ivory if they can sell them to zoos.
sell the whole thing.
It's worth more.
It's a better use of the product.
I mean,
No, I just
I
think
don't
like
have an actual argument for this, but
it's been in the news for so long.
yeah.
And for like 10 years, it's been like, well, she's too sick to move, so. But they're
Have you
still
no
talking
conscience,
why don't-
Jim?
Why don't you just stop talking about it after that point? Because I think we've just like, well, I guess that's. Fuck, I don't know. Too sick to move.
This is
I
such a
guess you're
millennial
staying.
thing. It's like I have a problem but no solution, but I want to whine about the problem for decades.
Yeah, for
The solution is bringing in another elephant into this horrific
I feel bad that I
climate.
said
Yeah.
But it's like that is like, what are you? Shut up about it. It's been so long. Every time I see it come up now, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, dude, you want me to explain it to you? Okay, here's the deal. She's really sick, so we can't move her. Unfortunately, that means she either has to stay here or die. The solution would be to get a second elephant. However, that's basically torture. So we'd have to go get this thing from the wild and torture it for the rest of its life until its only friend
Yeah.
died, and then have to
Yeah.
do it again. So
Yeah.
that's the problem, and I understand that it's horrible.
Whose idea was it
But
to
why
put an
are we
elephant in
talking about
Edmonton?
it? Yeah, why did we bring? It's minus 50 this week. Why the fuck's there an elephant
We should
here?
not be allowed to have one in the first place. We should be able to have polar bears.
I was gonna say that's probably why you shouldn't get a second one because it would get sick too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You would get sick of Edmonton.
Yeah, it would.
It's fucking
She has like an
freezing.
indoor enclosure.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
she has a
she's
home.
still sick.
Yeah,
for a
too sick
reason.
to
I do
go.
Feel bad for Lucy.
I do. I feel horrible for her. Her life sucks a lot.
I mean,
She's the only elephant around, and she's sick all the time.
You feel bad for all the zoo animals.
Yeah,
like they're
well,
all equally
yeah.
sharing this plight of.
I mean, I don't know. I think some of them, like the monkeys, probably have it better than they would have in the wild. Those ones would be dead and shit.
I don't know.
Oh my! Did you see though that the Calgary Zoo had to like put their penguins away last week because it was too cold for the
Yeah.
penguins?
It was too
Yeah.
cold for the penguins.
That
was
must have
too
been
cold.
a nightmare.
Yeah, probably.
Trying to round up a bunch of penguins.
No. Okay, so
That
I
would be a
also
nightmare.
Fucking love penguins.
I went to the Calgary Zoo to see the penguin enclosure the week it opened because I was very excited about it when I was a teenager. And I know a whole bunch about it because it was really cool. So they have two kinds of penguins because there's two climates that penguins live in. And so they have Australian penguins and then like Nordic penguins. And in the summertime, they leave the Australian penguins outside because they're used to the heat. And then in the wintertime, they bring them in and put the Nordic penguins outside because they're used to the cold. And so they climatize the inside to whatever the opposite of the season is. So if it was too cold for those penguins, they would have had to bring them in, but they would have had to climatize it to not kill the fucking Australian
Oh,
ones.
interesting.
So it's like that must have been a
Okay,
logistical
well, that
nightmare
makes
for
more sense.
somebody.
Yeah, why that would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to work at a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, animals are
The
pretty
Calgary
cool.
Zoo is way better than.
Oh my
the
god.
Oh yeah,
It is.
so much
It
better.
is.
It's worth the 6-hour drive for sure.
Did you
6 hours?
3 there, 3 back.
Oh yeah, you're right.
What fucking road are you taking? You're like gone on cowboy
Back
trail.
roads for me, buddy. I double back every 50 kilometers.
Make a quick stop in
A
Norway.
lot of pee breaks. One of those people who just does 70 with the 4-ways on the whole way.
Oh my god.
My road rage the past like week and a half has never been so bad.
Oh no.
I was at Asshole this morning, like someone was trying to get in front of me, so I like leaned off the gas and I was gonna let him go, and he didn't go forever. So I was like, "Fuck you!" And then I just sat up and went
yeah.
right beside him and gave him one of these. And I'm like, I'm a crazy person. I'm gonna get run off the road.
It's a funny thing that happens to us when we get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
think I'm
all
a
of
big
a sudden
man.
it's like, get the what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And every other point in my day, I am not react like someone gets in front,
No.
someone cuts in front of me on the sidewalk. Like, what the fuck?
Stop fucking joke.
Go, bro! Standing at the traffic. Like, bro, dude, are you fucking serious?
Can you imagine standing on the corner and the fucking little man comes up and this old lady ahead of you isn't going and you're like, dude, let's go!
These people are so slow.
It's like a tiny old lady.
Yeah. Outside of a car, I would say nothing. Inside of a car, I'm like, are you fucking...
It's also crazy that it happens to everyone and we all don't know why. Like,
Yeah.
no one has any explanation for it.
You like go into Hulk and then back out and you're just like, oh, fuck.
Like, I'm sure a psychologist somewhere knows, but like...
I think probably like 90% of the time I know that like I wasn't right in those two.
Oh, yeah.
Or like I overreacted at
Yeah.
least.
Oh yeah, for
You get like to the next set of lights and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was not smart.
You pull into
I
work
didn't know
and
you
you're
could
still
go there that
shaking. I'm
fast.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people that think that of me. I'm like, I'm getting mad at people, but am I driving like an idiot? Probably.
Oh, I'm driving like an idiot all the time. I know I'm the worst driver, so I'm such a hypocrite when I get mad at people. I'm like, I just like almost rear-ended someone.
I've had a tough time. My rear-wheel drive truck in this
Oh, no.
weather.
You got
So
some
there's-
sandbags?
I have a couple concrete blocks, but it's like not enough. It's a Ford Ranger too, so there's like no weight to the thing to begin with. So like on this ice, it like cannot get traction. I literally got stuck in a parking lot because it had like an angle to get out and they hadn't sanded.
How did you get here?
I'm fine. It's fine. It was just the parking lot was super fucked. It was like someone just totally like it was like an actual sheet of ice going like upwards.
no.
But
For our thousands of listeners, it's been minus 40 or minus 50 for the last week here, and it's turned the city into a block of ice.
yeah,
That's again for our thousands of listeners.
Yeah, I was gonna say
all
thousands.
thousands.
Eh?
Yeah,
totally.
thousands.
For sure.
Thousands
Yeah.
and thousands.
Yeah.
It
I
also
could
snowed.
pull up the stats, but I think my internet's out right now.
If you believe you can achieve it, okay, guys.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's called.
We should run our tarot cards.
I've
We could do
been
a poll.
meditating.
Yeah, we're trying to
yeah,
put
we
things
should
out
have.
into the universe.
I literally thought of that as you guys were coming over. I was like, oh, I
We
should have told
fucked
them to
up.
bring the thing.
Yeah.
You do
There's
a
probably
tarot
an
reading of our podcast.
Probably is.
Yeah, we could have tried for sure. Well, Alex, the last time he came, which was only like the beginning of January, the card he pulled, I don't know if we told you this.
Oh yeah.
It got
literally
pulled like 5
pulled-
times that day.
Yeah,
or something,
like
yeah?
so many times.
Yeah.
And then she did a pull for herself, and the same card came up, and we were like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crossing swords.
It was. I did that a lot.
She's like, this keeps coming up. Threesome.
That's not what I meant. Fucking hell. Are we allowed to swear on this podcast?
No,
Yeah,
absolutely
we're
not.
allowed to
PG.
swear.
We're-
No, okay.
Oh, but we're
guest.
not.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay.
Gotcha.
Jim said the
My
F word like
apologies.
every
Those are
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've said a few swears.
We just think ladies should be ladies, you know?
But when I was talking about crossing swords, I was talking about having a dick, so I don't know if that really applies to me.
I'm joking, by the way.
Yeah.
I would fucking hope so.
Jim's like, this is my podcast too, buddy.
Some of us
Just
don't
give
condone that. Oh boy!
Jim, you have a very infectious laugh.
Thank you.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've had to try and not laugh as loud at comedy shows because when I first started, I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. And for the first long time, I would just be at shows just dying of laughter, and it's fuck. I have a very loud laugh.
Yeah.
It's very.
So do I. I feel the pain.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear it
And-
back on recordings, and I'm just like, oh man.
Like dial it back a little.
Basically every show I'm at, someone in front of me looks back like, what the fuck's back there? And it's just me standing there like, just at a joke I've heard 4 times that week. I'm like, oh, this is the part I like.
This is the part I like. Yeah. It's really weird being a fan of comedy
Yeah.
and doing comedy.
And then also being loud on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the Pint on Saturday, and we like decided we were gonna get a little bit day drunk.
Nice.
So this girl here has quite a loud laugh when she wants to as well, and she laughed at something, and then there was like 3 people at the bar, and we weren't like that far away from the bar, but they like literally turned around for 5 straight minutes and just watched us laugh at how loud it was, and I was like looking at him, and he was like. I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Yeah.
Why are you saying we're having fun?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that people like think it's rude to be having fun around them?
I know.
Yeah.
That's what it kind kind of felt like that he was annoyed we were laughing, and I was like, "This is a bar. What
It
the fuck
is.
do you
And
expect?"
it was in the middle of an Oilers game. I'm like,
I'm trying to-
everyone in here should be at my level of rowdiness right
Yeah.
now.
Trying
I'm
to
not
keep
even
my day at a
watching the
6
game.
today.
Dude,
Trying to keep it at a 6. over here.
seriously, adults are the worst. I've hated it forever. I remember being like 14 and like adults would get mad at you for skateboarding, and I'm like, why are you upset? I'm trying to learn to kickflip on the sidewalk. Like, why are you mad? Like, what about this is upsetting you? I'm having fun with my friends. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like,
No, literally.
it's so crazy.
Why are you so mad, bro?
Like laughing in a bar, and people were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
over there?" Gotta cut it out. You're like, tequila.
Yeah, we had a number of drinks.
Yeah.
Speaking of skateboarding, did I tell you the story? My grandpa was so mad one year that we were like outside out front of the house, and it was probably like 14 and hanging out with like all the kids that were in their cul-de-sac, and we were listening to Eminem. It was probably like one of his like really, you know, his albums. Anyways, it was loud, and so he got in his car, which was directly across from the house we were at, got in his car, backed onto the skateboard ramp to fucking destroy it, and then left because he was so mad that we were out there listening to Eminem.
I've never heard this story.
Yes.
Is this your mom's father?
Yes.
That is
Holy shit.
That's property
Like-
damage, dude.
that is
People
awesome.
getting mad.
Holy.
That's
That's-
like an extreme. Yeah.
That is wild, but also like that's such a fucking cool thing to do.
Like,
Just be like,
I
fuck
hate
these
fun
kids.
so
Wah.
much.
Gran Torino.
Literally
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
destroys the ramp.
Oh my god.
That's actual Clint Eastwood level shit. Like
That's
just like
kind of
I hate
amazing.
this. Runs it over.
Damn.
It was. I will tell you, it was not amazing to be the granddaughter of him.
What was he driving?
Oh, it was a Toyota, I think. Like
Oh,
so
I was hoping
funny.
it'd be like an Oldsmobile
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
no.
This old
Plymouth.
long Cadillac. It's like baby blue.
Pretty sure everyone hated me after that.
He like runs over the fucking stereo too. Just like
Man.
Good
You could get away with more back then, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
think so.
That's intense.
Yeah.
So fucking funny. I don't get why people, and it's old people, are like just like, I don't know, man. I don't think you need to be such an adult all the time, everybody.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
You know what I've noticed is old people are trying to like make their problems mainstream. Like it started with like just for men. It's like, oh, you can't have any gray hair. Then all of a sudden it was touch of gray. So like the guy in the commercial is like, oh, like I want them to see that I'm like young and energetic, but also experienced. And it's like, no. And then lately, all I've seen is adult diaper ads, and it's not like
Is it one of those targeted ads for
I
you?
was gonna say,
Yeah,
why are
probably.
sponsored ads? They've heard you say something.
But it'll be like, and then I've seen some commercials, but it'll be like a chick in like this sexy dress, and then it's like her without it on, and it's like, oh look, you can't tell, and it's like, no, but you can, like it's an adult.
Oh my god.
Bro, my
Isn't that
buddy
fucked up?
my buddy Dan Clark, the dude who I used to run the podcast with, had
Yeah.
this bit about that, and he's like, yeah, some sexy lady at the fucking opera being like, ooh, I'm pissing my pants right now. Like, why are we sexualizing this fucking...
And if you look,
It's so fucking funny.
I passed them at the grocery store the other day, and it's like a dude with a 6-pack. And like the guy won, it's like,
It's it's
like,
the
oh,
Bowflex
sexy
guy.
dudes shit themselves too.
It's the Bowflex guy who's like, I'm 63 and I've got 6-pack abs. You're like, yeah, you still are shitting yourself,
shit
though.
myself occasionally.
And you're on like 13 medications because your liver doesn't work.
It's so crazy how they advertise this stuff. They're just trying to make it like, oh yeah, it's an adult diaper. Yeah, fuck, you never seen one of those? I can see it through your clothes. Like, what's that sound when you sit down? Like, just not even poop, just like that smell. Like that.
The Russell. Like, why? Do you have that stuff that you put inside of gift bags in your pants?
I didn't know Calvin Klein made those.
Yo, they should.
But it's so crazy to me.
So fucking funny. Oh, dude, this
Dudes
girl,
also shit themselves.
this girl at my work today tried to argue with me that farts are not funny.
Well, that's dumb.
Ridiculous,
That is just dumb.
right?
It's so dumb.
Yo, this old lady. There's this older couple that goes.
This old lady.
She's 32.
No, like an old
Like
lady.
70-year-old lady.
Yes.
It's like, I don't like farts.
Yeah, no.
Fuck that.
Okay, boomer.
No. Yeah, okay. I said, why am I? She's like, I hate when this guy serves us. No. Oh,
Girl hates farts.
there's this old couple that comes in all the time, and they're really nice. And it was the guy's birthday today, so they came in and they had like some wine and some beers, and they're hanging out. And me and the waitress were arguing. And I was like, "Farts are fucking funny," and she was like, "No, they're fucking dumb." I was like, "No, they're hilarious." And then she went and sat with them after her shift because it was his birthday, and I was like, "All right, you two older couple, are farts funny?" And they were like, "Yes, absolutely 100%. And she's almost 70 years old, and she was telling me this story about how they had like this, they have like a fart machine. It's like this little thing that you put in your pocket, and there's a remote, and it does like, you do like high squeaky ones and like loud ones or whatever. And so she got it for like her 50th birthday from her brother or something. But he had it and was pretending like he called her and he's like, "Oh, I don't feel good. Like I might have to cancel." And then while they were at dinner, he was like making this thing like blow huge fart noises. And like she kept laughing, but her husband after like 4 times was like, "Man, this is inappropriate. Like, what are you doing?" Like, and so yeah, he eventually like brought out. He's like, "No, like here, take this. It's hilarious. Happy birthday." And then they said there was another time where they had this like lady over to the house, and they had like the fart machine. And so they were doing it and like laughing. And so the lady was like, "Ah, ha, ha, ha," like, "Oh, this is so funny." So she lifts her ass cheek and just like rips one. And then they were like, "Oh, we were fucking around." I was fucking dying laughing at this girl sitting at the table, and I was like, "Farts are fucking hilarious. They're always funny."
Oh my god.
So funny. We were just
So funny. Yeah, it's like this 70-year-old lady telling me this story on her husband's birthday. Oh, it was fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
It was a fun day at work today. I was very hungover.
I was gonna say even hungover.
Yeah, I feel better now. This helped, I think.
Why don't you just like when you're hungover and you're working at a bar? Why don't you just take a few shots to get you like?
I'm too honest. I don't want to.
Oh, are you not allowed?
No.
Oh.
No, if you get caught by AGLC, they fine you and the restaurant, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
just- I've
I
never-
stopped when I used to like bartend and serve because I had one shot one night and then I crashed on a closing section of like
Oh, God.
maybe 8 tables, and I crashed
Yeah.
so brilliantly. And the shift leader was like, "It's because she was fucking drunk." I'm like, "Bitch, I had one drink. I'm just
Jesus.
bad at my job."
Yeah, I'm just not good at this.
Yeah, I lack skills.
Yeah.
I'm not good over this.
I mean, it happens all the time, and like I don't know, like people buy like tables buy shots for like the service staff and shit all the time, and like you see it happening. But yeah, technically, it is illegal to be like drinking liquor while you're serving liquor. And so if AGLC wants to be a bunch of pricks and like really come in and fuck with you, they can like slap you with a huge fine, and then you'll probably get fired because the establishment gets fined, and then. So it's not worth it to be a fucking day bartender just like doing shots by myself. Like I don't.
It's 1 p.m. There's
I
two
meant like
customers.
1 or 2, not like the whole fucking day.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not worth it to just
Alex
like
is doing
throw
Jaeger bombs
babies.
behind the bar.
Yeah.
He's like, "It's fine, I'm
Squatting
hungover."
like
He's
in the
got
ice
2,
well.
he's cheersing them.
I can see it.
Just fucking like hitting like a blunt under the fucking. I need my medicine. I would love to get a prescription just so I can smoke at work. That'd be the fucking best. Yeah, if it's like medically prescribed.
Oh, we can smoke like in the bar.
No, but like while you're at work.
It's up to your boss, really.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like at a bar, if you're like, "Hey, I had to smoke weed on my lunch break for my cataracts."
My crippling social anxiety.
Yeah, that one.
If you want me to be a lively bartender, right now I can't talk to people. This is actually really hard for me right now.
I'm bad at eye contact.
I'm really shy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be better. I think it'd be easier to bartend if I was stoned, honestly.
I had a
Probably
prescription
could
for
get
a
one.
while.
Yeah?
Yeah, the guy that signed it, his name was
Dr. Ferrari?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
dude. Everybody got
Yeah,
Dr.
come
Ferraris.
on.
That's so funny.
The craziest thing for me though is like I expected it to be like medical sounding names or just like very plain names once you got to like the medicinal marijuana, but it was
It's
like,
like purple nurple.
alien dog, like DAWG.
That's so funny.
It's yeah, it didn't seem very medical to me.
Yeah.
But
God's green crack. I'll take that one.
I think you can just go and be like, I can't sleep,
Yeah,
and they'll give you one.
I know, but
like they sell it at the store now.
yeah,
so
I
you
can just
still
go to
get
the
it.
store.
If
But
you
I'm
have that
talking about work.
prescription.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
but-
know. But
It would ultimately be up to you, but you may as well just ask your boss if you can smoke weed at work.
yeah, I'm gonna say,
Like, go
hey,
through
man,
all
do you
this
really
shit.
care?
For him to be like, why the fuck would I let you? If you need to smoke weed, you can't be a bartender, I guess. Bye.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like there's too much I feel like if I had a prescription, there'd be too much red tape for them to deal with.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
be like,
know
you
how
let
it
the
works.
cooks do cocaine. How come I can't?
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I've seen the shape of that manager's table every Sunday morning when I get in here. Or was that just where I work? Never mind.
Yeah. No, our place is all pretty good, actually. Like, I don't think anyone, because like I said, I think it's also AGLC is just bigger dicks now.
Yeah. Yeah, way back when I was a bartender.
Yeah. And when they had like
Very
dollar.
loosey-goosey.
Well, and they used to
dollar
have
beers.
insane shit like dollar beers and like 25 cents
25
on like
cent
power
hot dogs,
hour.
baby.
Any
Did
coin,
you
any
ever-
drink.
There was like
were you-
for a full
Hell
night.
yeah.
Never
Yeah,
mind
any
an hour.
coin,
I
any
miss
drink.
Globe.
Yeah, those were insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but it
feel
was like,
proud that like my like age of people like created legislation
Yeah.
against something
We
like
were all
that.
such
Yeah.
alcoholics
Yeah, I
that
was
they were
like,
like,
man,
holy
you
shit.
guys smashed it, but we're gonna have to stop.
Yeah.
like
We're
we
gonna have to stop
can't
this.
we can't let anyone do that again. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I caught like the
Insane.
very tail end of that. Like literally like the last 2 years, like as they were shutting it down. Like I got quarter beers and like buck beer, dollar beers at fucking the Strat and shit. And like
Yeah.
they had Toonie Tuesdays where you'd get like a pint of Lucky Lager for $2 after tax or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually, fuck. The Rack had any fucking beer on draft was $2 on Tuesday nights. We used to go to the Rack and get wasted on Tuesdays. It was the best.
The ranch used to have like 6-shot pony jugs for like $6.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I'd go there on a Thursday when I was 17 years old. It's a good time. That was the night that my dress fell down on the dance floor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It happens, I
It
guess.
happens to
Hilarious.
the best of us.
Yeah, those pony jug nights, and then like Ranch Wednesdays were wild. I remember it was like $3 for highballs and $3 for tequila or something like that.
Disgusting.
But yeah, now there's like literally legislation like you cannot sell an ounce of liquor for less than $5. Like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, now a sale is like, oh, Molson Canadian, $7.
I know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't pay that regular.
It's like I think pints are like $7.50 at one of my jobs.
Well, where we were on Sunday, a double was like $12.
Oh,
I was
man.
like Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. My brother's moving to Norway, and he said that a beer is $13.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
It's
wow.
like if you just buy like a beer with dinner, it's $13. Because apparently, like their shit is so like regulated, but everything's so free because of it. It's like healthcare is all free. His girlfriend is going to school for free.
Yeah.
Like all his like shit is free, but you have to pay like luxury tax on like everything that's like not like necessary in life. It's like, all right, you have to pay a bunch of extra money if you want to fucking do
Be
it.
an alcoholic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like if you want to get liquored up, it's going to be super expensive.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's like it sounds pretty cool. They're excited to go there.
Yeah.
They're learning Norwegian.
Oh my god.
It's kind of a goofy sounding language, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, they were telling me some of the names of the people that my brother
Sorry,
works with.
Norway. I didn't mean that.
Because that's the most offensive thing that we've said
Yeah.
this episode.
Sorry, Norway.
Yeah.
Fuck
Country of
you,
Norway.
Lucy, but sorry about
Yeah,
Norway.
Honestly, again, Lucy, I hear it again, and I'm like, oh, what is it now?
He's mad that I brought it up a second time this podcast.
Yeah. Probably eats like a queen. Anyways, go on.
I don't know. I forget what the actual name was, but it's like, it was something that was like, so I was like, that's not a real name. Like, it was like, they're like, yeah, his name's like Blorg or some shit. Like, but like, he's like, yeah, there's like 3 of them. Like, it's so funny. They actually have like fucking IKEA furniture names. Like, just so many consonants.
Do they look like a little figure on IKEA instructions?
It's so funny. And like, yeah, their language is crazy. Like they're doing it on Duolingo, and it's just like KKJEJ. You're like, what? Yeah, how do you even pronounce that?
They're probably gonna sound like a bit ridiculous because they don't have like the
Yeah.
accent.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
they're gonna sound crazy.
Yeah.
But like, they probably think the same thing when they look at our shit. They're like, why is there so many W's? Like, where, what, why, when, who? Why does everything start with a W?
That's wrong with the English language.
Some Norwegian like riffing on English on at an open mic stand up. Like,
There's just W's
why
everywhere.
there's so many W's? Who, why, where, when? What the fuck?
You can't just have straightforward words like blorg.
Why can't they just have normal words like Krekstugovoishkin?
Come on, figure it out. It's hard to learn another language. I've tried a few times. It's
No good.
No, I only get so far. And then I was
What
like,
have you
I
tried
want
to learn?
Well, like I sort of knew French when I was younger. So I like went back into that, and it was after a while I'm just kind of like, this is
Yeah, I
This
feel
is
like it's,
dumb.
if you know English and French, it's pretty easy to pick up like most of the like similar languages, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But you have to have like somebody you can speak French with. Like, how do you
Yeah.
keep it up if you don't have somebody to talk?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
I
guess.
peter off after a while. It's
Yeah,
like,
because like we both took French forever,
Yeah.
and like I could speak it, but then I had literally nobody to speak it with other than her, and we stopped speaking French.
We held on to like several words, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I think I learned it like for long enough that I could, like, it would be really hard for me to forget it now.
Weird. Yeah, I took
Really?
it from like age 9 to like 17. Like I took it all the way through school almost,
Yeah.
and I don't remember
So-
shit.
So did I.
I
yeah.
also learned French and English at the same time. Like I learned to
Oh.
speak in both languages because my dad's
Oh,
like
yeah.
French.
Yeah,
So like
that
in the
was
house we would speak French with him, and my mom had like I think her minor in college was French, so like she also
there you
spoke
go.
French. So like we could talk at the house while we were like 2 years old.
Yeah, which
So,
makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
I think that's
yeah.
probably why it's
Yeah.
more ingrained, because people say all the time like I forget it. I'm like, I have a hard time like
That'd be like you forgetting English.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
cheated a lot, so that's a
I
big
actually,
that's a big
I
thing
actually
for
did
me.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to
I
just
copied on the like 30. The
Pop
diploma.
like conjugation charts down on my thing and just
man.
sit there at my desk and be like, "Fuck, I don't know, man." It was like my best cheating out of all.
I honestly think
Out of
that
all
I like
school.
made the teacher love me so much that he knew I was cheating, but he didn't say anything.
Yeah, I was kind of like that. They would ask me for the answer, and it would be like something kind of stupid, or it'd be a bit of a class clown en français. And I think that guided me through most of
Yeah.
Yeah,
most of my
probably.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think most of them also know that like that's not really the important part. Like conjugating a verb is not the important part of French class. It's like
Yeah.
if you go to Montreal and you get stuck, can you be like "Où est l'autobus?" Like
No, I would not be able to do that.
Really?
I'd be able to say "Où est la toilette?" and I'd be able to
Yeah.
like, ask how much a beer is.
yeah.
And we
Maybe.
went on a French exchange.
Yeah, we did. It was
Yeah.
a fucking disaster.
Yeah, it was.
I couldn't
so
speak
funny.
a word to my family. I literally said "Bonne nuit" and they like applauded me.
Yeah, the family that I stayed with couldn't speak English at all. So when they were like packing me a lunch, they would bring me like all the options and be like, just make me point at it because I couldn't say what. I don't know.
That's so
Oh
fucking
my
funny.
God.
Yeah, it was bad, guys. But
was
that was
bad.
like, I think the first year I started French because I started
Oh,
in grade
shit.
8.
Damn, that's a crazy
yeah.
thing
I
to
started
do
in
to a
grade
kid.
4.
Well,
know.
we went to an all-girls school, and my exchange partner was a dude. And
Oh no! Oh
yours-
yeah, mine was a girl.
oh yeah, mine was a guy.
Yeah.
So
I
he was
was
the
just
only
like-
dude in this all-girls school?
No, they were like from Quebec.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I went and lived with this guy
Yeah,
and his older brother and his family.
Oh.
The
I,
other
like-
school wasn't.
I thought it was like an
all girls, us.
exchange where he came to take your spot.
No, he came later. So like
Oh.
I went there and lived with all of them, and then later like he
They
came
came.
and lived with
Oh,
all
and he
of us.
didn't go to your school. He just went to some other school.
No, he came and like went
wait,
to
what?
my.
So he went to the all-girls
Oh
school.
yes, okay, yes, I see what he's saying. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
They went to school?
On like a day, I think. We had like field trips and shit. We went skiing.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
I like fell in love with one of the French boys. It was really embarrassing. And then someone like videoed us at the very end of the trip because he gave me a kiss on the cheek, and I was like literally over the moon about it. Yeah.
Aww.
Really
How long did you
embarrassing.
guys talk after? Like a month?
I don't think we did at all.
That's hilarious.
How would you have talked back then? Like Nexopia? Not even.
MSN Messenger.
No.
MSN Messenger would be it.
I don't know if we
Yeah.
did. I don't remember. I had him on Facebook for like the longest time. After that, like when Facebook was a thing, I found
That's
him.
so
Don't
funny.
ask me how.
I found
Don't ask me how. I assume because you knew his first and last name and searched
Yeah.
it.
It's probably
I
that.
still remember his first name, but not his last name.
Creep Game 100.
The early days of Facebook was easy to find people
Yeah,
you
that's
knew.
true.
Yeah,
That's
people
true.
actually had their real names.
Yeah, everyone had their real names, and then like your like mutual friend connection would be like only actually your mutual friends. Like it wasn't like you have 832 friends in common. You're like, oh, do we?
Dude, being a comic is the worst for that.
I hate
You
it.
just get requests from other comics, and it'll be like, oh, me and Will have like 215 mutual friends. I saw that today, and I was like, I bet you I know,
A dozen of them.
yeah, maybe 24 of them tops.
Yeah.
Dude, and so you were the one who told us about this. Facebook just took off the like regulation that you can't just hit invite all to your friends for shit.
For like a page or something.
Yeah, so to
No, you
pages
can
and
do, like,
events and stuff.
200 at a time.
So
You
we
have
have like 1,000, literally, not exaggerating, I probably have like 850 friends who are stand-up comedians. So I've been getting requests for fucking shows and follow my page and like,
oh yeah,
because all of my friends who have shows now know that that's an available tool. So like,
yeah, I've been
if
noticing.
you guys
that
to
too.
share your podcast and like make a podcast page, you just hit invite all. So
Well, we
every
have a podcast page.
yeah. So go do that when you get home.
Wait. Did you just do that?
Yeah, I did. That's
Yeah,
why
I
you
was
guys
gonna
both
say,
followed my thing. Yeah. So basically it's like between everyone that I know that has podcasts and runs shows and like does this, I've probably got like 2,000 notifications in the last 2 days being like, you've been invited, you've been invited,
Oh,
you've been
yeah.
invited.
Yeah, there's a lot of pages that I do not follow. I'm like, oh, thanks for the invite. No.
I declined
I'm
all
the
of them.
worst with Facebook. Like I will miss messages from like my aunties for like
Yeah.
3 weeks. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not ignoring
nobody.
you.
Only like old people use it now.
Well, it's just become so oversaturated
Yeah.
with like I said, I got 2,000 notifications of like, just come to my shit. And it's like everyone puts up like 800 pictures of like my new puppy. It's like, do you know how many fucking puppies I've seen, dude?
Yeah.
In the 90s, you saw like 10 puppies your whole life. I've seen like 100 today.
Yeah.
It's just a world of less puppies.
I literally, where's my phone? It's over there. I opened my phone on accident to a picture of a puppy this morning because I was like, who fucking was like texting yesterday when I was all wasted? I was like, oh yeah, a puppy. And then like, so my friend got a new dog. But it's like, what?
Nice.
That you didn't used to see puppies all the time.
No, man, they're everywhere. And I think because of dating
Hot
apps, yeah, because of dating apps, girls with pictures of horses is also on the rise.
Yep.
That's
What?
all. Yeah, like nose
Oh.
to nose with a horse.
Oh,
like
yeah.
posing with a horse. Like,
Sitting
They're
on
advertising
horses.
with their horse girls.
in a
All
field,
of
like
them. Oh,
black
yeah.
and
No
white, like
way.
holding
Oh,
a
yeah.
fence post. It's crazy. Like
They love
Oh
it.
yeah, you see probably like it's at least every second person.
Aren't horses like crazy expensive? Like it seems
Well, that's
like
what I'm saying is like you don't see horses around Edmonton. So where the fuck is your horse?
Fox Drive is the
They
only
all
place I see
they
horses.
they probably all go down there and
You
just like
do realize there's like acreages.
no, that doesn't
east of
count.
Edmonton.
Yeah.
No, but it's all these people who say they're in Edmonton.
I did see a bunch of horses. My ex lived like on an acreage like between Beaumont and Edmonton basically, and there was horses like just in backyards and like just hanging out all over the place. I'm like, oh, how do you guys all have horses?
Well, you expect to see it when you put your range to like max. Like you're gonna get some small towners in there, but
I'm still more caught up on the how many people can afford a horse.
yeah, I don't
so
think they
expensive.
can. I
No,
think they
it's so
rent a
expensive.
horse.
But like,
you can, or you can like have your own horse and then you can pay to board it somewhere else.
because
Yeah.
like I'm like, dude, dog food is expensive. I can't imagine what horse feed
Yeah.
costs you.
Yeah, my
It's like-
hairdresser's really young and she has a horse. She's probably like mid-20s, and she's like, I can't like travel. I can't really do anything because she has to pay like all the medical bills and like
Yeah.
the grooming, and like there's so many fees associated with a horse.
Insane.
Yeah,
And like, I just doesn't seem worth it.
Just
like,
to dominate an animal for a little bit.
Yeah, like
That's
I get
what
it.
is.
I get it if you're
Like, hey, I'm on top of you. Do what the fuck I say.
Yeah, I mean, I've dominated an animal or two in my life, but I'm just kidding.
Oh boy.
The zoo is uncomfortable.
Are we done yet?
Okay.
What's the point of having a horse? Like, really?
Yeah, I don't.
Is it just to ride it every now and then, or do people like
I
do
think
something
they
with
do
it?
like shows and stuff.
I get
They
it.
like win medals and shit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Or
get
it's
it.
like really therapeutic. Sorry, interrupt you
No,
further.
it's fine.
Some people find it really therapeutic, and that's why they
Oh,
do
so
it.
you can rent
It's
it
true.
out as a therapy horse.
Or you can just go like take lessons and ride like someone else's horse, and they could be taking a picture with that horse.
That's what I'm thinking it is,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the number of pictures of girls with horses that I've seen far outweighs anything, and I can imagine as far as local girls having horses.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can also, I'm
Like-
pretty sure, just go like on like a beginner trail ride.
Yeah,
At, like
and just be like, quick, and
Yeah.
just ditch.
Yeah,
into
so
the
it's
bushes.
probably not their horse. Like we have a picture with a horse, and it's my dad's friend's like house out in Seba.
Oh yeah, I was like,
So
we
like
do?
I could post that one. That's not my fucking horse.
Yeah.
No, I don't look at that photo.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't know if like why girls think that's the one to put on.
I
on the
never would have
dating
thought
app.
of that. That's so bizarre because I always think that guys judge horse girls.
Yeah, we do.
Because like the horse girls in
For sure we
elementary
do,
were
yeah.
usually the weird girls.
Yeah.
yeah.
They still
Yeah.
are.
Well, and also it just
Interesting.
again I don't want to harp on it, but I'm like, what kind of expectations is she gonna have coming into this relationship if she's
Yeah.
had a fucking? She literally was like, "Daddy, I want a pony," and he was like, "Okay," like, but for real, it's
Yeah.
like, what kind of expectations do you
What are
have
you gonna
coming
get
in?
her for her
Horse.
birthday?
Maybe.
Oh, strong, independent
I
woman.
was just gonna say.
I mean, doubtful, maybe.
Doubtful.
It could happen.
Hey, I just said that for
You just-
someone that's paying for her own horse.
You just
Yeah.
talked about
Did
a,
she
a
purchase
female
it
horse
herself?
owner.
Yeah.
Nice, good for her.
Good for her. What does a horse go for?
I don't
I didn't actually ask.
because
her
most
that.
girls that I knew were like 16 when they got horses. So I'm like, I assume she didn't pay for that herself.
I don't think I know any
Yeah.
girls that got a horse.
Oh, there's girls in my high school that have horses.
Damn.
I think I wanted a horse because my parents made me move to the country, and I
Yeah,
was like, I would like a horse, and they were like, no.
Hmm.
So now I'm not a horse girl.
yeah,
Well,
It worked out in my
probably for
favor.
good.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
No shade, but lots of shade.
Yeah,
Yikes. I'm not making any
wild,
friends
though.
on this podcast.
I don't know. I think it's cool if you're like a horse breeder and like you do that for a living. You're like, this is a horse, but I feel it's like a crazy thing to just like enjoy riding a horse.
I love
Yeah.
riding horses.
Yeah, I think it probably is really fun.
I don't.
but it's like a crazy. It doesn't
Not a
seem
fan.
worth what it is.
Not to like
Well, I
spend
think it's
money
like,
on
it's
it
like
every
another
month.
pet
No.
too, right? Like it's
Yeah,
like
I
you have an
guess-
emotional connection with it. It's
I
like
guess
kind of
it's like
having
having
dog.
yeah.
Anytime
train
I've
it,
ridden a
spend-
horse, both of us didn't want to be where we were. And I think it's sensed.
Yeah, you
Both
can pick
times,
up
like,
on your
I was
bad
like-
vibes, Jim.
I was like, I don't want to be on this horse right now.
Yeah.
And I think the horse
It
was
knew.
like, I have
Energies.
had it up to here.
Energies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
They
there's a
actually do
negative
The horse is
energy
like, today's the day
exchange.
that I'm bucking a person off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
That's-
very empathic.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you actually gotten bucked off a horse?
No.
Oh, that would have been a great story.
Well, I was in Mexico once though, and I was on this little like sad, malnourished looking horse. Like it didn't look strong.
It's like the Lucy of horses.
Yeah, yeah. Except it was working for its fucking share. Anyways, so I
Just
got
like riding it along the beach.
so I got on the back of this thing, and it went up on its hind legs, and I was like, what the fuck? And the Mexican, because it was in Mexico, and the Mexican guy was like, just kick it, and I was like, I'm not. Like I don't think I'm in a position to be. Yeah, I just don't think I should be kicking it right now. Like it's already got me up here. And then after that, I was like, I don't want to ride it. It was like one of these booze cruise stops. It's like, I don't want to ride it. And they're just like, get on. I'm like, I don't want to. They're like, get on. I'm like, fine, I'll get on. And there was like barbed wire down the side of the trail. It was like real. The whole time we got there, or like by the time we got to this waterfall, I was just like, I could just walk mine back. And the guy's like, get on. I'm like, I'm just going to walk it. He's like, get on. Just talking to it the whole way. Like, it's going to be okay. We're almost done. But I didn't forgive it for almost fucking bucking me into like a little rock pond. I could
Even
have.
I would be scared of that too, and I've ridden horses
Yeah,
quite a
me
bit.
too.
Like that's not fun.
There was one time, one part of it where like a real healthy looking horse ran up behind us on the trail, and I was like, I'm about to die.
Like
I was
clop,
like,
clop, clop, clop. Like, that's not what mine sounds like.
mine's scared. I'm like, fuck.
Why doesn't mine clop, clop like that?
Yeah. Like, these look like different species of animal right here.
Actually, the horses are pretty small in Mexico.
Well,
the ones
they-
you ride on the trail, I feel like
they
they're not.
don't look like they eat regularly. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Were you on a mule?
Yeah, no, it looked. It was the closest the horse could look to a mule.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. I want to do one of the. I want to ride like this is gonna sound weird. I want to ride one of those weird animals. Like I want to ride like an ox or like a yak or some shit, like up
what?
like a mountain trail. I think that'd be sick. Just get like a pack llama and just
man.
like roll up.
Yo,
It's like a shaman to go meditate. That'd be sick.
In some of these countries where there's a lot of like tourists going up the sides of mountains on goats and stuff, they've started to or like whatever donkeys. No, donkeys.
All these places where people are fucking with goats up the sides of mountains. No, you gotta stop going to Banff. You can't ride those things.
They've had to start like regulating it because like so many fat tourists are like fucking up the backs of these poor animals because they're like people are just getting bigger, and then we'd be like the donkeys can't, neither can the goats, but the donkeys can't like, keep
Size
up with this.
restriction.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
and it's like fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh yeah, bro. If you played O-line, you don't get to ride a goat.
No, you don't get to.
This is the rules.
You should pick the goat up.
Yeah, you have to bench
Yeah, you
press
should
it.
be carrying the goat.
Yeah, if you can carry the goat, you can't let the goat carry you.
I just love the idea of like, sorry man, you're way too big. Like,
I'm just picturing somebody trying to like ride a goat up the mountain like this.
Just this really fat
it's an
guy.
effective
Why is mine so fucking slow?
Something wrong with my donkey.
Yeah, it's a goat.
Just an angry American. He's like, these fucking plane seats are too small now. These fucking goats.
Even the donkeys, bullshit.
I'm in the bathtubs. I hate Europe. You're in Asia.
Wow.
I like making fun of fat American tourists.
Yeah.
I don't know why. America has so many like insanely dumb people. I think. I just
Here
love.
we
Have
go.
you guys watched the Flat Earth documentary?
No.
It's the
There's
greatest thing.
flat earthers in Edmonton.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yo.
Yeah.
There is a
It's a vibe.
Flat Earth Alberta billboard on the way to Calgary.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Alex, you don't think the Earth is flat?
No.
But why? Why don't you tell us?
Well, I mean, the easiest way to explain it is that moss grows on the north side of trees, and so the shadow is the side that the moss always grows on if you're in the northern hemisphere, and it's the south side if you're in the southern hemisphere, which means that the sun has to go around the fucking earth. Can't be flat.
What if God made it that way?
Some things can't be explained.
Otherwise, day would be twice as long as night because the sun would have to pass by and then come by again. It would have to be going back and forth, or like they say in this weird circle-y thing, but then the moss wouldn't grow on the other side of trees.
Interesting.
Don't worry, I've never thought the Earth is flat. I just wanted to hear your take on it.
Yeah, I know. But it was a podcast,
You
so
get
I
worked
figured
up. I like seeing you worked up.
Fucking son.
the podcast would be boring if I was like, well, you don't actually believe that. On to the next subject.
Climate change. It's real.
Way more interesting.
I've never met a flat earther in real life. I'm just like, these have to be normal people with normal jobs.
And they're in like our province.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
imagine going to like your office job and like Joe in the corner cubicle is like, well,
Yeah.
the Earth is flat though.
There's a
You
climate
notice that his
change.
globe looks a lot different than the one on everyone else's ass. It's just fucking-
Do you guys know like why people think the Earth is flat? I've never actually like.
Apparently, it like so the documentary like goes into it. So the documentary is basically making fun of them, but also trying to like be like, this is what's going on. It all stems to like this weird, like they think everything's a conspiracy. They're all like, no, the government's controlling us. Like it's in the books because they want you to think that the books are right.
What is the government gaining from us thinking
Yeah.
the Earth is round?
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's just one of the lies.
Yeah.
It's one of the many lies.
It usually ended up coming down to some like religious thing where it's like they're Satan's tool to like keep us from the truth of God. Like
They were scared of science back in those days. It was
Yeah.
I just
witchcraft.
can't imagine thinking like that. I know.
It's insanely irrational.
Yeah.
because we're all really enlightened.
We are. We reached a higher plane.
Yeah, I think we can pat ourselves on the back for that. Really.
I don't know. There's not a flat earther, a climate change denier that is like
a denier.
at my work
No
all
way.
the time, and like constantly bringing it up.
Like a customer?
Yeah,
Oh
like
my.
just constantly being like, oh yeah, fucking real global warming out there, minus 51, hey? Like, and then being like, oh yeah, if you look at this chart, the Earth actually heats up and cools down in cyclical periods. And you're like, oh, you're so stupid.
Do you get into it with them?
No, I pretend like I agree with him because I want to see him say as crazy things as
You wanna
he
see how far
possibly.
he'll go.
Oh yeah, and his wife is just like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like egging him on. It's really fun. So he thinks that I'm on his side, but I'm not.
Wow.
There's also a comedian.
Little spy action going on.
Yeah, new side to Alex.
I do that with customers all the time. People at work have like it's all act.
You're
don't
like really the king of tricks, aren't you?
no,
Yeah, you are.
maybe. But
Jim's like, what?
Sounds like there's some more story there. Jim and our thousands of listeners would like to learn more.
No, there's no stories.
I just don't.
Stay tuned for the director's cut.
I was gonna say, listen to our podcast that dropped on
Yeah.
Anytime,
January 21st.
There you go.
anytime people have opinions, I don't want to argue with them as their bartender.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
yeah.
I just am like, oh yeah, for sure, and like we just go on with whatever they're saying. And a lot of times it's shit that I actually believe, but a lot of times I'm just being like, yeah, sure, whatever you're saying, let's do that. Like, I don't want to have an argument with you. I'm working right now, man.
Hey, you want a tip?
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
You
I
want
don't
an
even.
argument?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I
you
do
don't
want
want
the
to get
tip.
into like a negative exchange like that at work either. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
No.
pointless and uncomfortable. You're never gonna change somebody's mind by arguing in that setting either.
Yeah, and it's the weirdest. Like, I can't. There's no part of this where I win. Like, there's nothing good that
You
could
either
possibly come
Pretend
out.
to be a flat earther, or
Yeah.
you get stiffed.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, sure,
Either way.
sure,
Majority
whatever
of the
you're
time
saying.
you can't even change. Like it's not like they're set.
Yeah.
Right. Like so it's kind of pointless even if you're not at work. Like I don't argue with people. I'm just like cool.
Yeah,
Because like what are you gonna do?
I'll just be like, but with most people, I'll be like, I don't know, man, like whatever. But at work, I can't just be like, yeah, whatever, I don't know, and then they just like sit there while they're like sitting at the bar in front of me, like,
Staring at you.
so the Oilers, eh?
I'm picturing Alex in like a 90s sitcom where he's the bartender and like there's a flat earther and a round earther at two different sides of the bar and he's got to like
Go
play it
back and
both.
forth. Dude, I fully have.
Earth is flat. Alex is like,
Dude, there's two regulars that literally come in, and one of them is like a very progressive dude that like he's like one of the things they said was really funny was he was talking to his like brother's wife or something, and she's super religious, and he's like, what if you were born in like India? She's like, the Holy Spirit would have found me. And then he's like, I don't think like you know how geography works. He's like, just look, like they're all a different religion depending on where you are in the world. Like, so you'd believe something different if you were born somewhere else. It's like, what the fuck? And so I'm talking to this guy about that, and then meanwhile there's this other dude that's like, climate change isn't fucking real, like
my
super
God.
religious, like, and I'm like, yeah, dude, crazy, like, yeah, man,
Alex is like, this is why I need to smoke weed at work.
yeah, this is why I need to.
and probably a street preacher outside on that corner.
Oh my god.
I honestly
I love those
truly,
guys,
truly
yeah.
do not like that man. He
I
makes
know.
me feel very, very negative emotions.
Yeah, I have a bit about it where I'm like, I try to figure out why I hate him so much because
he's
you
not
always
a
see
nice
it's like
human.
mostly white people I think too get really just like fucking negative amped up when they see him, but it's because I also have stupid opinions and I think people should hear them. Like I want to be able to get up on the thing and be able to just
You
yell.
could. Why
You
couldn't
should,
you?
I don't
yeah.
think cheese is that good. Here, take a pamphlet.
Oh,
I think that could be me.
That's what you
Okay,
do.
I think we're done
You're a
here.
comedian.
Yeah, that kind of is.
Yeah, we just do it in a way that's entertaining instead of being a psychopath.
But like
But he's always there when people are like coming out of the bar at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I'm like, why do you do this? Because you want to
and
have
over
like
lunch.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like,
But he thinks that our minds are weakened because we're all
Yeah.
inebriated. So he's like,
And
I'm
it's
gonna get him.
But you're probably gonna have more people like yelling at you because they are drunk. So like, why do you? Why?
Yeah, it
And
feels
he
like
gets off on that.
Yeah.
Probably.
that's probably it. That's like it seems like part of it is the thrill of
Yeah.
like arguing with people and getting in their face and be like, oh fuck you, and so
Yeah.
drunk wasted dudes at the bar.
When I used to work downtown, there was a guy that would play the guitar on like a street corner close by.
Yeah.
And then one day he showed up with like a speaker and plugged in his guitar, and he was like, they both kept turning their sound up all day.
Oh.
The cops came. It was amazing.
was it the guy with the glittery jacket?
No, it was just like
Oh.
some young kid.
Oh, there's a
So nice.
There's
It
an
was
older dude that
awesome.
wears a very bright, loud jacket.
Interesting.
And plays downtown.
Nice. Yo, someone shared this was like a weird thing that feels like a Edmonton related podcast deal. Someone shared this thing about how the like shirtless rollerblading ukulele dude apparently is like a sex offender.
Allegedly.
He is?
There's allegations of that.
Yeah, there's a guy that like rides up and down White and probably downtown too. I don't know. I've only seen him. On
I've
White.
only seen him on White.
Yeah, he like rollerblades and plays guitar, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
with no shirt on. It always entertains me though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you know.
Well, now I'm like,
Yeah. When he smiles and like waves at everyone and he's like super tan and jacked and you're like, this
and like
is
he
like
does
a
it
weird.
shirtless in the winter too, doesn't he?
I've never seen him in the winter,
Oh,
but
okay.
he just like kind of rolls around with like guitars and is like, hey, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Do-doon, do-doon, do-doon. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
the red light is like in traffic. He's like rollerblading around, like waving at people.
my
He's not like begging or asking for money or anything. It seems like a super holistic thing. And then they're like, wow,
He's actually
might
a
be a
predator.
sex offender.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't trust a shirtless guy on rollerblades.
Does
I guess
anyone
is
know
the
this guy's name?
no.
sure. Find
It's
it.
in, I'm sure if you Google like
it. Oh, yeah.
Edmonton rollerblade shirtless.
He's on the dirty, probably. Okay, can I tell an online dating story?
Mine? Yeah.
I forgot the dirty
I forced
existed.
Jack. We were drunk a while ago, and I forced her to download Hinge.
Yeah.
So she's like
Jack
just
doesn't do
swiping
dating
away.
apps,
She
for
does
the
not.
record.
I was
Yeah.
like, just do it for me. It's funny. So she's like swiping away, and then she's like, oh, this guy's kind of cute. So I like look at his profile, and he has a picture of him in a hockey jersey. I'm like, fucking douchebag. So I go and I Google him just to make sure, and he's on the dirty, and it's like this guy's full of STDs. He's like,
Oh my God.
predator, like blah 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 blah, just like totally ripping out his character. And I was like, here you go. This is why you Google people from dating apps.
So I swiped left on him, and I didn't tell you this. I was checking the app the other day, and he liked me, and I was like, no.
Oh, and then this other guy came up on her app, and I was like, I know someone that went on a date with him, and he's actually homeless and a drug addict.
Whoa. What?
Yeah.
That's
Also
so
swipe
crazy.
left on that one.
Yep.
Did-
Yep. Keep your eyes open out there.
That's crazy. I also know I've heard of someone who like dating apped into like a homeless drug addict and then like started like dating him and then like found out like it was like stuff wasn't adding up and it was like, oh, this is a fucking homeless drug addict.
Oh my
Like, what the
God.
How do they have the ability to get on a dating app when they're homeless?
Lots of
Well,
people
they're
have
like
phones.
more
This guy
like
drove a
shyster.
Lexus.
Yeah, they're
He
like
drove a
shyster.
Lexus, but didn't have a house. He had like gotten like kicked out of his place because he was like using fentanyl and like a bunch of other shit and like trashed the place. So he got kicked out. So he was like homeless, like living out of his car and like a raging like opioid addict, but still like actively trying to seek dates.
Yeah, I think this dude was just like on blow, like all blown out
Yeah.
and just like had no money. But he was like all like shystery. So he'd like find places to stay and be like, oh yeah, like he always had like a reason for everything. And I think he had kids and shit. So it was like
Yikes.
this weird.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's
a scary,
fucking.
scary world out there.
So that's why
women.
I don't do
Crazy.
dating apps.
Yeah.
Because I'm I wouldn't have thought to Google someone. And so
it was
I'm
the
like,
hockey jersey. I was like,
That's so funny. Yeah, hockey jerseys are like horses. Don't have them in your Tinder profile
well,
pics.
just like I've said this before. I'm like, why does every semi-professional athlete have to have a photo in their fucking jersey on their dating app profile? I'm like, oh, whoop-de fucking do, you play on the WHL. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
How young are you looking?
never mind.
Played.
me not
Played.
young. Not young.
Played.
Yeah, that's funny.
You gotta cast a wide net.
I also like that when there's like, it says their age is like 25 and one of their pictures is their like high school grad pic. You're like, what is that about? Like, why you got a 6-year-old
real.
picture?
I know, like there's so much around girls and their profiles and like not showing their whole body and blah 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 and whatever. Guys put like old ass fucking photos on their profile, and like if you go through, they don't look the same in one single photo.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what do you actually look like right now?
Yeah.
I heard a rule and it was like pick the worst looking photo and that's probably what he looks like.
Yeah.
That's actually true. There's this guy that I'm like, I think I said like maybe 4 things to him, and I keep checking the app, and I'm like, I have a message from him every time I check the app, and I haven't responded. And then I looked at his profile again, and I was like, you are like 250 pounds. No.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's a big old boy.
Thank you. I don't even care if I sound shallow. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you want to go on a date with someone you're attracted to, I guess. That makes sense.
No, I'm not going to be going on any dates. This is just for the podcast.
That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I think the reason, or like my defense as a dude, someone was like, because I think I do probably have a couple old pictures on there, but I'm like, I just don't take a lot of pictures. I'm like, I just
and that's fair.
have to put up like 10 pictures where you can see kind of what I actually look like. And I'm like, I only have like 7 or 8.
Okay, but in the last, like, I'm trying to think back when you were not skinny. Like 4 years? You haven't changed that much, right?
And like, it's been 9 years.
Yeah,
since I lost
so if
weight.
you have like the last 4 years, I don't think you've changed that much, have you?
Well, I had
Like
I had like hair down to
Yeah.
my shoulders and like no beard and stuff, but
Yeah.
I like that though when guys have pictures like with the beard and with no beard, because then you can see both times what you're looking with. Because I dated a guy one time for like several months and then he shaved his beard and I was like, oh no.
yeah, this is like a perma beard. I haven't had like, I think I've probably been clean shaven like 4 times since I was like 19, but I have it like trimmed down to like just stubble looking. But I look so weird. I look so fat. I look like a fat baby.
I feel like that's
I have, I have this like, I don't know what
Okay, I have that too, and I found
Yes.
out the other day that you can get your stomach acid
Yeah.
taken out, and then they inject it, and then the stomach acid eats the fat. And I was like, Jack, I'm gonna do this. She's like,
Oh
"You're
my
fucking
God.
psychotic."
Yeah. It's like a weird thing. It's not like
Yeah.
it's just like that's kind of, it's like your love handles. Like even if you're skinny,
fat just
you have
sits
like a
on your
little bit of
faces.
chub like that sits
Yeah.
on your hips.
Even when I
For
was
me,
17,
under my chin, there's just like a little
Yeah.
chub that has always been there.
Yeah, I was 110 pounds and I still had this. It's just how my body is. I'm
Yeah,
like, no,
I was like a
stomach acid.
chunky baby and I had the little chubby thing.
Yep.
So my beard covers it up.
Well, I don't have that option.
Yeah, but my beard makes me, I think not having a beard makes me look chubbier than I am, but having a
Beard's
beard makes me
definitely-
look like I am the weight that I am.
Beards are kind of like the catfishing for men.
Well, not really, because you can have it all the time, like for your
Yeah,
whole
but-
life, and never shave it, and just
Yeah.
actually look like this every second of every day.
I mean, fair, but
True, but
Why? Is this catfish level?
Pretend.
but you can meet. So my ex, like one of my exes, he had a beard when I met him,
Yeah.
and he like then had to start going out to the field for work, and he would have to shave his beard all the time. And I was like,
Oh.
I don't want to see you for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah,
That is, if you
So,
have to
it's
shave
rough.
it, but
yeah.
yeah.
You meet someone with a beard, and then all of a sudden they have to shave it.
Yeah, that's
I saw a
ruthless.
commercial for some like brand new Gillette product, and it was this, a firefighter being like, "Yeah, like I work long hours and my work's dangerous, so I have to keep like a close shave." It's like it's hard because I get these red spots sometimes, and it was like the epitome. I saw that commercial, and I was like, "That is as bad as it gets for men."
These red
Like,
spots.
pretty
Like,
accurate
oh
for
man, if I have to shave a lot, I get a fucking spot on my.
That's so funny.
That's like that's
Razor burn?
the epitome of like male problems.
That's so funny. I also love that they tried to make it like so tragic and like,
Yeah.
I
know.
And then girls' things are like, are you having horrific pains because of your period? Well, try new Midol. Like,
Yeah.
it's so, like, it's like the most.
It might work.
Are you literally homicidal 1 week out of the month? Like, yes, I am.
Do you want to ride a horse down the beach?
And then dudes are like, does your face burn a little after shaving? Don't worry,
Yeah.
so does this tough guy.
You're a
Let's try our
badass
product.
firefighter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw that and was just like, this is too much.
Wait, advertising is hilarious. I would love to like go to school for advertising just to learn like how ridiculous it actually is.
I want to write a cologne ad.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, it's dark. A polar bear runs across the landscape. Jack dude comes up from the top of a mountain. Calvin Klein.
Like the sun rises and falls dramatically fast.
Yeah, half Old Spice, half cologne commercial.
No, the sun goes across the horizon in the back, and it's aimed
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone runs off the edge of the earth. A goat.
So many callbacks.
A fat guy on a goat.
Yeah. I'm not good at callbacks during actual comedy, so this is good practice.
Fuck, that's so funny. It's even like the crazy. Have you ever heard the thing about like how companies use colors to like affect your emotions towards like their products and shit? Like that stuff is insane. And then like people marketing stuff towards kids to get their parents' money. Like it's so crazy.
Well, that was like apps went through that recently. We're not like before they didn't have to say like in-app purchases.
Yeah.
And then kids were just like racking up huge bills playing some dumb iPhone game.
Wild.
Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've like paid for apps before. Like there was this one and it was like the Wild West and you had to like shoot things and I like paid for ammo in that game.
Hilarious.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what they do. They basically like
slippery
you
slope.
love it,
It is.
and it's kind of easy to progress your way through the first bit, and then once you like really love it, they're like, okay, now the levels are so hard that if you want to play for like more than 5 minutes, you have to pay money.
Well, it's just like dating apps. If you swipe too much, sorry, you can't swipe for another 10 hours. People are like, no, I need to swipe more.
I need
Yeah.
to.
So they aggregate. I was looking when we signed her up. It's fucking. I think when I had dating apps, it was like maybe $5 a month, and it's like $20 a month to have Bumble. I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, who's
Who's
getting it on like a
paying
monthly
$20
subscription?
a month?
That's
And you have to
crazy.
pay to super swipe too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone super swiped me the other day. I'm like, you literally pay
you get one. Oh,
to super swipe me.
Oh, you have to pay
Okay.
per super swipe?
Yeah, and I like clicked
On
it
Tinder-
and it said there was like that's on Hinge.
oh, Tinder gives you like one a day.
I mean, I could be wrong. That's possible, but I was just like,
Unbelievable.
not worth it because I'm not here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a very strange world.
It really is. Bumble's weird because it shows you that you have like 99 plus likes, but you can't access your likes unless you pay. So when I was on it, I got like a free month or whatever. So I like took it. And then one of the guys that liked me lived in like Vancouver or some shit. And I was like, where did you come from? Like I literally messaged him to be like, how? And he was like, oh, I was in Edmonton for work. And then we ended up dating for like 3 months.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I like
Shouts
him.
out. Yeah, I like him too.
Did he live in Vancouver?
Yeah.
And you're dating?
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Nice.
Yeah, nothing wrong. It just kind of fizzled out because we were so far.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be the hardest part is just to like,
Yeah,
after a
that's
while,
really
like
far.
texting every single day is impossible. So then you just stop texting for like 3 days. Then you're like, well, now we haven't texted for like 5 days. And then you're
we
like,
just weren't really putting in the effort. So
yeah,
yeah,
that sucks.
it was fun while it lasted. I went there a couple times. He came
Nice.
here.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun just to get to go on like a little mini vacation to see your boyfriend. That'd be an exciting weekend.
I mean, it was because I took her there. Just
Yeah.
want to clarify that.
Yeah.
She took me there for my birthday. and he
Girlfriend
just
took you to see your
happened to
boyfriend?
be there.
No, I took her for her birthday, and then he fucking overtook the weekend. There was one night that I slept in a different room. Like, I went to a hotel while they stayed in our Airbnb because I didn't want to be around.
It was my
Things are
birthday.
coming up here at the tail end of the podcast.
It was not a good night for Jack at all. Anyways.
Did you guys not have separate bedrooms at the Airbnb?
No, it
No,
was
we
a,
shared a bed.
No, it was bachelor.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame you entirely for this one. That seems like
I'm not
if
blaming
you're
her. If I sounded like I was blaming her, it wasn't what I was doing.
if you're
I'm just airing a grievance.
if you're
Yeah, a
taking
little bit.
someone to see the place where their boyfriend lives and you only have one bed, someone's gonna smush in your bed.
To be fair, people in BC don't like
Smush.
pipelines.
I haven't heard that word since Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, I let her have her fun, and then I did the walk of shame the next morning back to the room in my like same outfit as the night before, and I didn't get anything out of that night. So
Oh,
it
just
wasn't
the shame.
really a
Yeah,
true walk
but-
of shame.
That's so funny.
It
She
looked
got
like a
laid
walk
and
of
you had to
shame.
do the walk of shame. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that happened to you? Like one of your buddies got it in and he's like, all right, now leave.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man. You're like shamefully walk out of his house.
Oh my god. Yes, good friend right here.
That's awesome. How
Good
long
times.
are we?
We're up to $1.20.
Oh shit. Plug your podcast, guys. Tell us all about it.
Katie, go for it.
Well, if we didn't make you hate us in the past hour and 20 minutes, you can find our podcast on all your... We could have
I might have crossed the line with Lucy. I don't know. I might have...
That was the tip of the iceberg. But you can find our podcast on all your social media platforms and all of your podcast listening apps at 2Girls1Broadcast. And yeah, I guess that's it.
We have an episode. When does this come out?
Friday.
Oh, so listen
The
to our episode with
24th.
Alex. It came out on Tuesday.
Haha.
Yeah. It's a
On
good
Friday, listen to the one on Tuesday.
Yeah, if you want to listen to us
Right now
talk
it's Monday.
again for another hour, go ahead and listen to that. It's different stuff.
No, it's
Alex
actually
teaches us
funny.
how to trick people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
the-
good at it,
That's why
apparently.
I said he's the king
Yes.
of tricks.
The king of tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little shyster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are
That's
a
what I've been
full-on
told.
shit disturber.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we
been
tell you
told
what we're
this for
calling this
years.
episode?
This one? Oh, no.
Tinder season 3.
Oh, God.
We're very excited.
Tight. That's fun.
Well, thanks for having us,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Jim, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, you can find me at Kersey on Instagram and also Yeg Stand Up on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, go to comedyaf.com for all my stuff and come to the station on Wednesdays. We run a comedy show there. So you are in Edmonton.
It starts at
and-
7.
Yeah, it's a reasonable hour.
It's free.
It ends at a reasonable hour. It costs $0 to
Just
get
come.
in. Jim's handsome face will be
Yeah,
there.
just
Wings
come.
are half price. These guys might come one week.
Yeah. Like,
Yep.
We've been waiting for you guys to show up.
So come to that.
No, I was talking to the... I was talking to
Jim,
the...
I was gonna say
I was
your
talking
eye
to the
contact
thousands,
with the
yeah.
camera is like it's intense.
Mesmerizing.
Yeah, it's quite
talking to
mesmerizing.
the thousands of listeners that we're going to get
Yeah.
for this episode.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, enjoy the rest of your lives. Bye.